it's all of a sudden telling me that that I don't have the right stream key. That's great. The wonders of doing this shit when it was all set up, working fine.
I blame Facebook. Facebook sucks. It really does.
Well, I mean, not for nothing, but why the fuck is it telling me that my streaming is disabled? Your payment expired. Yeah, okay. But why can't I do the free? Huh? This is such horseshit.
It must be me. It must be a curse.
No, let's see if I disconnect the, okay, connect to get stream key. Copy, paste, apply, okay. And here we go.
You got it?
All right, some technical difficulties there, folks. Sorry to start later than usual here. But this is Friday night, November 14th. This is the latest episode of Signals from Mars, presented by the Mars Attacks podcast, MarsAttacksRadio.com, for all the good, fun links to check stuff out. And without further ado, we've been trying to make this happen for a few weeks now. But we have a special guest here. My Galaxy of Geeks cohort, Mr. Chris Vaglio. Chris Vaglio, how are you?
Hey. Here I am. Finally here.
Finally, after a few weeks of trying to get this to work. This guy has given me like almost every excuse under the sun. He had to wash his hair, do his nails. He was PMSing.
Yeah, I had to wash my hair. You know?
Yeah, and then finally today, last second, he says, "Okay, I can do it." So we have to jump on the opportunity here. You know, this is like a blue moon. You never know when the opportunity is going to happen again.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it is. It's like a blue moon, man. You got to strike while the iron's hot, and it was hot today.
Absolutely.
Just at the right time.
Let's see here. One of my fun things here is that this isn't working the way it's supposed to, and my chat screen has disappeared. So if there's anyone out there in the chat, we will open that up shortly.
Yeah, Josh Parr's trying to get in, and he keeps saying the link's not working. I keep sharing the link, like the live stream that you got going on Facebook, and he keeps saying it's not working. So,
should be working now, actually.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It should be up now. I mean,
yeah, I
click
see it on my Facebook.
Yeah, me too. I have it up.
Okay. So this stupid thing. All right. So I see that this isn't going to work today. So the chat. So I'll just open the chat up in a separate window. If anyone happens to send us a message, at least we can see it there. Let's see.
Yep.
Chat app. Where are you? Okay, so anyway, as I get this stuff working, Chris obviously does Galaxy of Geeks with me, and he also does. He just started up his own business endeavor.
That's right.
A few months back. It is called
Certainly did.
Rockit Growth Agency. Tell us a little bit about what you have
Rockit
going
Growth
on.
Agency.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after 20 years of running and owning a video production agency, I decided to branch out and start a brand new business venture. And yeah, so Rockit Growth Agency basically works with people who own companies, founders, independent professionals, people who really want to be thought of as like thought leaders, experts in their industry, and who really want to have that increased visibility to their network. So basically what I do is I train people to develop their personal brand, and through that help them identify their personal brand, their authentic voice, and then from there help them identify their actual audience, their target audience, the people that they want to be putting their personal brand out to. And then from there I then teach them exactly what kind of content to create and how to do it. So for instance, even like what we're doing now, like showing somebody how to do their own like live stream and podcast, or just create their own videos and really take advantage of all the platforms out there between Facebook, LinkedIn especially, and of course Instagram, YouTube, and and even TikTok as well. I mean, TikTok is definitely something that should not be ignored as far as getting your content out there and using it for business purposes. It's all about your personal brand and trying to really make sure that you are getting that out there in a way that people can see. Because at the end of the day, it's all about people do business with people they like. So that's what I do essentially, is I turn people into rock stars, like me.
Awesome.
As I'm sitting here drinking my Mighty Swell, which is not sponsored by, they're not an official sponsor of the show, but you know what? You guys should be an official sponsor of the Mars Attacks podcast.
They're not a sponsor of your stuff yet. Is that what you're saying?
Yet. Or yours.
That's the operative word there.
I'm tasting this actually for the first time. It's okay. It's like a watermelon mint spiked seltzer. So very, very metal.
There you go. So you've obviously been a proponent of certain legislation that has passed in New Jersey lately. Although
Absolutely.
I read a few hours ago that there's been some hiccups where they're gonna, I guess, revote on some of the stuff on Monday to figure out how they're going to move forward with things. That's just one of the things that you've talked about, the legalization of cannabis and stuff like that in New Jersey, right, and in various other areas. What are some of the more interesting topics that you've talked about on your show? So some things that maybe have surprised you, or some things that were really insightful when talking to certain guests?
Really, it's so, when I do my live show, which has been, and this is separate from the Galaxy Geek show that I do with Victor, I do a separate live show on LinkedIn, and then I take that and I re-release it on YouTube, and then I make a podcast out of it called the Rockit Growth Agency Podcast. And a lot of the people I'm interviewing and having on are business owners, they're entrepreneurs, people who have started their businesses, faced challenges, adversity, and gotten through it, and innovated in different ways. And so the whole like theme of that is to really just hear their stories, people who were able to transform themselves into rock stars and how they help other people, and just hearing their interesting stories. So the things that I've learned a lot is that the biggest thing that didn't surprise me is that everybody has a very similar story. Like, nobody just starts a business and it becomes successful like the next day. It just does not happen like that ever. And usually when you see somebody hit that success, it's much like music and bands, right? You see a band break and they go big, but it's like they didn't just like start writing music a week ago and just broke big. Like, that's right, just not how it works. sometimes, 10, 15 years before a band actually like even has that shot to break. And it's very similar with businesses. I mean, people are in businesses. I mean, most businesses, small businesses, don't even make it past year 5, let alone even year 1. And so by the time you really see somebody who's very successful out there, it's not because they didn't do the hard work and put the time in before that. So that's been one steady consistent in all the interviews I do. I mean, things that I've learned along the way is just, people's mindset, how they think, how they get things done, different systems, and what motivates people individually. Everybody's different. So it's been really cool hearing those stories from people who are, they're out there, like they're doing it. And, everybody has a very similar in that respect too. Like, they've faced adversity, have faced sacrifice and had to do these things. And, they've been able to accomplish it and come out the other side and then help others too, which is that's the real cherry on top, is the fact that, even if you are successful and all that, it's always great to help others and help others to achieve their dreams and success too. So I love hearing those stories, and it's something I really, hold as a strong value in what I do. And that's why I, left the world of video production to basically do that, help others kind of get to that next level. And so that's a lot of what I love hearing now. It's what I like hearing people talk about. And a lot of that, we've talked about this not only just on Galaxy of Geeks, Victor, but I mean, I hear you talk about it, and we have side conversations too about the music side of things, and how that really does translate. Like, it's amazing too when you hear bands like I was blown away. I got to be honest with you, and I don't know, we haven't talked about this yet, but I'm loving the AC/DC record. I think that it's really great. I'm very impressed, to see a band like that's been around as long as they have to still put out, from what I hear, a phenomenal, solid rock record. And it's actually quite refreshing to hear right now, to be honest with you. It's especially after the string of blows that we've gotten between Eddie Van Halen and Neil Peart at the top of the year. That kind of stuff is like, we've lost a lot of great music icons, a lot of artists over the last couple of years, and this year really has sucked on that too. So it's great to, like, sort of the Eddie Van Halen stuff still feels very raw, but then to have like AC/DC come out and like just drop this phenomenal, what I think it's a phenomenal rock record. I mean, it's just, there's something about like hearing that, man. It's very like, here an old friend is back.
Yeah, we'll touch upon today's new releases in a second, but I agree with you, because the last 2 AC/DC albums last 3 haven't really done much for me. Like, the melodies weren't there, the riffs weren't there. And the second I heard the riff to Shot in the Dark, I was like, wow, this is one of those quintessential AC/DC albums that, or a quintessential AC/DC riff that, that
you hear it and it's them.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. So, there you go. We have Josh Parr in the chat here on Facebook. I said that I'm hoping for him to give us some Rogue One comments today. He absolutely loves the movie Rogue One, so if anyone ever wants to talk about it, just look him up on Facebook.
We could also Shot in the Dark was a poor choice of title, though. Yeah. In hindsight, I guess. We could also spend the next hour too just talking about the old Dune versus the new Dune, which, I mean, hasn't come out yet, but
Josh loves them Oakley gloves. So
he does.
There you go. Right up on the screen, people can see rocketgrowthagency.com. You can sign up for the newsletter. You can contact Chris and set up, you can set up appointments with me right there. All you have to hit is let's book, and there's plenty of places for you to set up time with me, anywhere from 15 minutes to 45-minute consults. That's all time that I love spending and talking to people. And also too, I do want to point out, because my everything I do is centered around music and band mentality and band marketing. So you'll notice that there is a merch store there. And the cool thing about that merch store is, one, it's my merch, so it's got my logo and everything on it. So you can get a lot of cool apparel and accessories there.
But the bigger thing there is the fact that I also donate all profits to charity. So I do not make any money at all from that merch store. I donate everything to local charities here in the area. I typically tend to donate to places like the Community Food Bank in New Jersey, the Seeing Eye, Morristown, the Morris Food Kitchen, and 11th Hour Rescue are sort of my favorite charities. So that's where the money goes. And the trade-off is you get to wear some swanky merch. You even got some face masks in there. There's even a dog hoodie in there too. So your dog could be rocking it as well.
Dog hoodie all the way at the bottom, bags, stickers, bunch of different T-shirts. So yeah. So if you want to help out a great cause, any one of the different causes that Chris talked about,
yep.
Just go to Rockit Growth Agency.com and then click on the merch store, and you'll find all this great swag there.
That's right. And when you spell Rockit, it's ROCKIT. growthagency.com, not in rocket ship as in rocket, like it's like the sign behind me.
There you go.
Rocket.
Yeah, let's see. Joshua Parr is already posting a link to Rocket.
Well, that's a different rocket.
Yeah.
That's a rocket ship.
Josh Parr says, when are the thongs getting released?
They're made to size, so I will make sure I get the smallest sizes there for you, buddy.
I guess he's looking to sport the old whale tail. I guess that's the whole thing. So anyway, for anyone that is coming here for the first time due to our illustrious guest, to keep up with anything that I have going on, go to MarsAttacksRadio.com. The site was redesigned lately.
Yes.
Or recently, I should say.
I like it.
Thank you. You can check out previous episodes of Signals from Mars live stream. And, all right, I'm already seeing an error here.
Well, don't point it out.
No, the latest podcast that I posted today isn't here, and it should be here.
Maybe your queue just needs to be wiped out on your browser.
That could be the case because
that happens.
I possibly, and there you go. That was it. The cache was not flushed out, so I am
a technical genius.
There you go. So today I actually posted an episode yesterday, which was last week's Signals from Mars with Chris Czynszak of Decibel Geek, the audio version. And I posted an interview with Jace Lewis of Ascension of the Watchers. And there are some nuggets of information in this episode that I think you'll enjoy because he talks about David Prowse. He talks about Carrie Fisher. Mark Hamill, sharing beers with them, and a bunch of other things. He talks about how David Prowse became his manager and a bunch of other Star Wars related things. He also talks about working with Gary Newman and working with Roger Taylor and Brian May of Queen, and obviously this band, Ascension of the Watchers, is Burton C. Bell from former Fear Factory lead singer. It
always seems to be former.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Former for now.
Well, yeah, that's it. We'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah.
So, and here we have last week's live streams, and we have the new releases. So let's check out the new releases real quickly here.
Let's do it.
You touched upon AC/DC's Power Up.
That's right. Power Up.
Yeah, so I have the video for Shot in the Dark and the Spotify playlist here. Also some Amazon links to pick up some of these featured albums. Remember, folks, if you use any of these Amazon links, I'm an Amazon affiliate. And any purchase that is made, you don't have to pay anything else. No one's holding a gun to your head to use these links either. But if you do, if it's a qualifying purchase, I get a small kickback. So Amazon has a say that now, or if not, they can kick us off of Amazon. So
All right. Well, there you go. So buy something from the link and help a guy out, will you? For crying out loud.
there you go. Uh, Second album that I featured here is Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons. We're
Oh,
the
I really
Bastards.
wanted to hear this. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to listen to this yet. This was on my to listen to this weekend pile of stuff.
Yeah.
music to do's.
Mike Jones, he's over on Patreon. Shout
Mhm.
out to him and all the other patrons: Mike Jones, Steve Hoker, and
Yes.
Jeremy over in the UK. Mike has been
What's up?
chatting back and forth with me, saying that he picked this up and that he liked it. He said it was
Nice.
just good old-fashioned hard rock and something he could sit back and kick down a beer and listen to. So
Nice. I
some
like that. And
sometimes that's
this
all
is
you
a
need.
nuclear blast, right? This
Yes.
is a nuclear, which is kind of I mean, I like the nuclear blast over time. Like they've really been expanding out like
Yeah.
the types of music. Because I mean, back in the day, I mean, remember when we used to be at the radio station, like nuclear blast was like that was like the extreme stuff, man.
Yeah.
Like you saw nuclear blast and you're like, oh, okay, this is gonna be heavy.
Yeah, a lot of these labels have done that. Relapse has done the same too. They've really started signing, bands that are really like Blues Pill is another band that's on Nuclear Blast. That's
Yes,
like a
yes,
70s throwback band. They've
yeah,
both them, Relapse, Metal Blade, they've all got a bunch of bands that are doing, hard rock stuff where like you're saying back in the
yeah.
day it would have been shunned or would have been looked upon differently because, it wasn't your typical hard rock or their typical metal that they have on the label. So
Yeah, exactly.
the last of the three featured albums here is LA Guns Renegades. I know that I have someone that's always on my social media that whenever like I post Sepultura stuff or I've posted stuff from these guys, hey, it's the fake version of the band. Look, it's not up to me to judge, and I'm pretty open-minded about things. If something sounds good and someone legally owns the name, I'm not the person to go out and point a finger and call them out over it. So
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm as the older I get, the more and more I just this kind of stuff just sort of like is just I don't have time for it,
yeah,
The whole like pointing this out, pointing that out, and who's on this, and I mean it is funny, but at the same time you also get it, like
yeah,
these guys have got like at this point, man. I mean these guys are older than we are, and it's like this is how they make a living.
right,
I mean it's true, like and if you it's all about marketing. So if people see
right.
the LA Guns title there, they'd be apt to either buy the ticket to go see them and or pick up the record.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know, that's the only way. I mean, that's it's all about trying to make a living and buy some groceries.
Yep, absolutely. So I mean, this album sounds good. I mean, I think the only thing that it's kind of missing, and this isn't a knock on their current guitarist Scott Griffin, who used to be their bass player. Um, the the guitar playing on this album is good, but it doesn't have like that. As I put
Hmm.
on in this article, it doesn't have that extra gear to kind of give it the fire that say a Tracy Guns or maybe Stacy Blades did in the past in the band. It's still good though.
Yeah,
I
yeah. I mean, I got to check that out too. I actually haven't heard it yet, but I agree. I mean, Tracy Guns, you can't, like you just, when you hear him, he's
yeah,
got that sound, he's got that, he just has that identifiable like guitar tone.
yeah. And other things that have come out today: New Death Dealer, Catatonia, Jesu, Ghost Kid, Harlot, Accuser, King 810, Macabre, however the hell you say that.
Macabre,
Macabre, there you go. Fuck. I'm not the
macabre.
best at saying things. Soulburn, Warfict, Go Go Berlin, and then there were reissues from Seether, Boris, and the Swans. Then there were a bunch of greatest hits box sets and live albums released. You have greatest hits from Doro and and Lizzie Borden, along with Bronx Casket Company releasing a box set of the complete collection, and Periphery released live in London.
And Periphery's great. I actually saw them with Josh Parr. Was about 2 years ago, I think, maybe 3 years ago at this point, and they slammed. They were unreal. I mean, they didn't miss a note. They were excellent. So wait, Josh, did Intervals came out with something? Did you say Intervals? Did I miss that?
No, I didn't say Intervals. It's possible that
Oh,
that I didn't receive information on that, and that's why I
okay.
didn't post it.
But okay, says Josh. I don't know. We're big into Intervals. We really like them. So I'm just wondering if he saw something we didn't see. But he's talking about the Intervals made to throw in Pallbearer for Album of the Year. I don't know, buddy. That Hum record to me is Album of the Year so far.
I don't know. I like the Pallbearer album, but damn, is it depressing. I mean, those videos that they've released.
Oh, those are dark.
you if you're having a bad day, not something to watch.
Now, one of the releases I just finally started listening to this week, and you probably talked about it on the show maybe last week or so.
Mm-hmm.
What Killer Be Killed?
That's not out yet.
Okay, well, they got the three songs they just released on Spotify.
Yeah,
it's great, right, man?
Yeah.
I mean, I've listened to that like probably 50 times over already.
Yeah, Troy Sanders. There's hardly any project that he touches that isn't great. There's just something about the stuff that he's involved in, whether it's Mastodon, whether it's Killer Be Killed, whether it's now I don't remember. Gone is Gone is the other one, where it's
Gone is Gone, yeah.
Him and Troy from Queens of the Stone Age. Both of those are releasing albums, and we're actually going to talk about that in a second, and some Mastodon as well.
Right.
But anyway, last thing that I do want to remind people is, I should have just done this. Any links regarding Mars Attacks, whether it's the Facebook, the Twitter, the Instagram, the Tumblr, subscribe to it on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, the RSS. We have a Telegraph group. We have TikTok, which I have to start using more like you do.
Yeah, bro, you got to get on that.
And then there's Reddit, Discord, which we're trying to work out, Periscope, which you're usually on, Twitch.
Yep.
YouTube, and the Patreon. Patreon, if you just want to start at the lowest level, it's $2 a month. You get an extra podcast a week, and you get a ton of videos and polls and different things. For example, today's poll.
Just $2? Wait a second. Let's just go back to that Patreon real quick. Only $2.
Between $2 to $25 a month. Depends on, there's 4 tiers. There's a $2 tier, there's a $5 tier, $10 tier, and a $25 tier.
So for $25 a month, what do I get for $25?
All right. Let's go to the tiers.
Because I'm almost feeling like I'm spending almost that much on like all my stupid video subscriptions. Like,
See, almost every week I have this posted, and of course today, or I have this ready to go.
Look at this. So 2, 4, 10, and 25. Or did I screw that up?
No, it's that. 2, 5, 2, 5, and 10 and 25. See,
nice.
Now I'm not getting the. Oh, okay. Public page.
Oh, hey, here it comes. Yeah. Coming up now.
So $2, you get access to the Victor M. Ruiz podcast, plus all kinds of videos from lesser-known artists to bands you rightfully know. Weekly polls, which sometimes they're daily, are thrown in there as well. We've got a lot of cool banter going on with all these videos for $5. You get all that, plus behind-the-scenes bonus content. $10 a month. I mean, this is in euros, but if you open it up in the U.S., it's $10. You get both of those things, plus you get a T-shirt.
Swag, yes.
Level 4, you get the weekly show. You get the behind-the-scenes bonus content. You get a separate live stream a monthly Q&A, fan requests, which will be taken into consideration for an upcoming project that I'm working on. And you get early access to interviews. So essentially, as soon as I'm done with the interviews, they will be posted in a non-edited format.
I think Josh Parr and I are gonna have to donate so we can just get on this show.
Well, you're already on.
Well, yeah, but I know Josh wants to get on.
Well, maybe we can work something out there. For
Yeah.
anyone that's interested in what we have posted or what I've been posting, today's posts. Just posted a video from Albert Bouchard. The track is
Nice.
Blue Oyster Cult. There's a poll for albums that have been historically released today, for people to choose the one that they
Oh, wow.
like
That's
the most
cool.
out of these. Posted the new Love and Death video. That's Brian Head Welch from Korn's other band. Arrival of Autumn did a cover of Bark at the Moon.
Okay.
And Mike Jones chiming in. Good cover musically. Horrifying vocals. Wrong song to cover. So these
It's
are
a tough one. That's a tough one, man. That's tough.
Yeah, this is the kind of banter that we have going on back and forth. Suspect 208. So this is a band that's formed by Slash's son, Robert Trujillo's son, and
nice.
Scott Weiland's son.
Oh,
And,
wow. I love the name. That's a cool name.
Yeah. The only thing here is they need better production. I think if they had better production, it would it would be something really cool.
What was it? They probably produce it themselves. Is that you think that's the case?
Probably, yeah. So there's a bunch of other videos here. Pretty Reckless, an AC/DC track that I posted, New Machine Head.
Right.
And this is from I guess this posted this morning. Red Beach instrumental track and Jeff Scott Soto stuff. So as you can see, we've got comments on pretty much all of these. I mean, it's pretty cool. We've got some pretty cool feedback going on with that. So if anyone wants to join up, easiest place to go, just all the way to the right here on MarsAttacksRadio.com.
Oh, there's a new Blackmore's Night.
Yeah, Blackmore's Night is another one.
I love Blackmore's
new Christmas song.
Yes.
So
you know what, that Blackmore Night, the Christmas carols record, that is in steady holiday rotation for me every year. I love it.
We just
the medieval Christmas.
We just slagged that this afternoon, so maybe
whatever.
Hey, not everyone's got an opinion. Doesn't mean any of us are wrong or right. Doesn't mean you should stop listening to it.
I won't. I won't stop.
It's kind of like getting back to Caddyshack. Hey, looks good on you though.
Hey, sure, it looks good on you. What, do you get a free bowl of soup with that?
Yeah, there you go. So let's go around the ring here. Some headlines from different sites. Blabbermouth has Brian Johnson praising Axl Rose for stepping in and doing the remaining dates with AC/DC.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Stephen Piercy now saying no new rap music in the works. After saying that he'd been working on new Rat with Jordan Ziff for I don't know how long. Now apparently Juan doesn't want to do new Rat. So.
Okay. Well,
Wolfgang Van Halen will debut his new solo single apparently on Monday. He's going to be on the Stern Show on Monday as well.
Oh, cool. That's great. Yeah, I didn't even know that. And Mark Tremonti played guitar on that, right? I think that's. Is that true?
I don't know if he played on that, but Wolfgang played on one of Tremonti's solo albums.
Okay, yeah, I could have sworn Tremonti was involved in this project somewhere, and I don't know if it was helping him out or producing or whatnot. I mean, so I'm anxious to hear it. I want to hear what Wolfie's music sounds like.
Yeah, Uncle Ted says Democrats are brain dead zombies. Okay.
Okay, well, that's on brand for him, man.
Yeah.
that's his thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Cooper, Detroit Stories album details. So he's got a new album coming out shortly. Real quickly here. Let's see. Rammstein singer, Pain, Hypocrisy main man pull the plug on their Lindemann collaboration. Apparently, Till Lindemann is going to continue using the name
Right.
without Peter Taggart Green, or however you say
Okay.
that. Lars Ulrich, we model our experience somewhat on the Grateful Dead. That's something that I've said for a long time because, like the Dead, they have always allowed fans to record shows.
Right, except when they sued him for. Well, I don't want to get into that. That's open. except when they were doing. But I get that. It's a whole different thing. But it is funny. It's funny.
Yeah.
Like they did the most very undead kind of a thing. Undead. But they but they did. But I mean, for the most part, they've always encouraged that. I mean, that's what Cliff 'Em All is. That's what makes Cliff 'Em All so awesome. Is that it's all fan filmed footage, and I love that because that reminds me of the days when we used to go over down to the flea market there and trade VHS tapes and stuff like that of all live stuff, like any band that came through the Meadowlands, it was a VHS copy of it like a week later, like on the flea market. But yeah, I mean, in that respect, I can get behind that to a point, I actually feel like, well, I guess I don't know. I feel like Maiden is a little bit more that way, at least as far as following goes and merch and how they've permeated popular culture. On a global level. Not to say Metallica hasn't done that on a global scale at all.
Yeah, Metallica's a much bigger band.
No, they're a much bigger band, but like when you think about it though, like a world band, like a global band, I don't know. I feel like Maiden has that a little bit more. I don't know. It's hard. It's like, but it's two different things, right?
Maiden does a lot more select touring, whereas Metallica still kind of does the daily grind where they're still going out there and playing,
right,
X amount of shows a week. Really wanted to check in on the unified chat here from Restream. Mike Jones, who's on Patreon, has said, and don't forget about Patreon people. Support the music and Victor too. Thank you, Mike. Very appreciated.
Yeah, and, Mike.
Jeremy Weltman, who's also on Patreon, said the videos are great on Patreon, a daily dose. So yes, you get at least 4 videos a day on Patreon.
Nice. Maybe I'll start putting some videos on your Patreon.
You'd have to be admin. Let's see.
Co-admin.
Here, D.
I'll just send you videos. How's that?
There you go. Here, D. Snyder and Lizzie Hale, new version of the Magic Christmas Tape, maybe coming to the Vaglio household someday soon.
I got to be honest with you. I mean, and you know me, man. I'm a total mark for that. I'm a mark when it comes to holiday music and metal. Like, I full on admit it. And I see Josh Part, the August Burns Red Christmas record. That is another a staple in the Vaglio household now. So I am a total mark for that stuff. Not afraid.
There you go. Flotsam and Jetsam announced new bassist, putting finishing touches on new studio album. I've actually interviewed the guy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Bill Bodley. I interviewed him when he was part of Toxic.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, let's see. Rob Halford names Judas Priest song he always wanted to perform live. It is the title track to the album Rock and Rolla.
Ooh. I would love to see that actually done live.
He's saying he wants to do Ripper tracks live too. We'll see how far they expand.
The first I thought the first record with Ripper was actually pretty good. I mean the cover was terrible. It looked like it was like printed out on like a dot matrix printer and then like photocopied. But there were some pretty cool songs on that record. I know it's not a popular opinion, but I've gone back and listened to it at my older age, and there's a couple tracks in there that I kind of dig.
I actually like Demolition more. Demolition, and I have no qualms saying this. There is no album between Demolition and Firepower that is better than Demolition. From a production standpoint and from song quality. There are songs on Demolition that had Rob Halford as sung. Songs like Held Us Home, songs like Feed on Me, songs like One on One, songs like Subterfuge. Any one of those songs had Rob Halford have sung on them, they would have been Judas Priest classics.
Hmm.
I
I'll
think,
have to go back and listen to that one. I'll go back and take
yeah,
another, because I've been doing that a lot lately. Is records that I kind of slagged back in the day, um, and for various reasons, like that, like, oh fuck that, f that, I'm not
yeah,
going to do that. But like, um, but now I've been doing that a little bit more. Like even I mean I even went back and I've listened to the Motley Crue record with John Corabi as a singer, and I got to be honest with you, man. I mean, it's not Motley Crue, but it's a pretty good rock record.
it says Motley Crue on it.
I know, but you know what I mean. Like
Yeah,
it's like they, for marketing purposes. I mean, it would have been better suited just like kind of doing a Velvet Revolver, something like that. And
right.
but that was back in the day. I mean, it's they had there was no way they were not putting that Motley Crue name on it. But at the end of the day, I've gone back and listened to it a bunch of times. It's a pretty good rock record. It's pretty solid,
Yeah.
and I like John Corabi too.
I agree. Let's see. So we talked about Troy Sanders before. Mastodon is in the studio working on their new album. Vimic frontman Kalen Chase releases music video for Let Them Come solo single. Gone is Gone featuring Mastodon at the Drive-In Queens of the Stone Age members. Death of a Dream music video. Smashing Pumpkins releases music video for which I
Oh,
guess
who
that's
cares?
pronounced.
That new Smashing Pumpkins record is garbage. I just don't like it at all. I think it's terrible.
I've out of all the songs they've released, I've liked one, and the rest has been kind of just eh.
It's I don't know. It's just not for me. I'll say it that it's not for me.
Uh, and to wrap up Blabbermouth here, Darren Malakian. It's a shame that certain things can't come together for System of a Down to make a full album. Those two tracks they released are really good, in
Mm,
my opinion.
yeah.
I was hoping that would be the catalyst to get them to record more. We'll see.
Yeah, oftentimes that does happen. Bands get together, they finish recording or put final touches on something, and then yeah, it kind of resparks that,
Yeah,
that creative and feeling like, oh my god, we haven't done this so long, we should do it. And sometimes it goes the opposite way. So yeah, I would hope to see, I would love to see those guys, get together and at least make some more music together. I think it'd be cool. Yeah, those two tracks are pretty good,
yeah,
for sure. So Josh Parr, where did you see that At the Gates is recording a new record? Where did you see that?
yeah. That
Because that would be cool.
I read that a few months back as well.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I know friends that are that are diehards and didn't like what they released a few years back.
Hmm.
Josh Parr, the System of a Down sounds like Scars. Blech. Yes, because Darian actually wrote that when they decided to put their shit aside. Apparently, from what I've read, Darian said, "Well, I've got two tracks that are pretty much ready to go. If you guys want to work on them, let's do it." So, and I mean, let's be honest, he's a big part of what System of a Down has always done. So
Right, right, right.
let's see if Brave Words has anything any different from what we saw here. Steve Perry stripped down songs on upcoming traces, alternate versions and sketches. Most of all, performance video and stripped visualizer streaming. Seven Dust Morgan Rose releases lyric video for new single The Answer. Pretty Reckless streaming new single 25. That's something that I
Hmm.
have scheduled to post on Patreon. Gone is Gone, which we
Okay.
talked about.
Yep.
It's more or less the same. Let's see. Let's go over to Metal Injection. We talked about the sons of these famous groups. Oh, here's another one that's been big today. Deftones Stephen Carpenter admits to being a flat earther, says no vaccine ever worked.
Okay, that's his opinion.
I guess
It's the wrong opinion, but that's okay.
I guess polio has run rampant in his family or something. I don't know.
I guess so.
Deftones post Passenger remix by Mike Shinoda with Tool's Maynard James Keenan on vocals. Are you looking forward to Black Stallion? Is it called Black Stallion or Black Pony? What the hell are they calling it? The entire re-record of White Pony is the name of the album.
Yeah, actually, I don't. Yeah, White Pony is the original record.
Yeah, it's gonna be
But I
called
don't know.
Black Pony.
And what are they doing? It's a what? Like just a
Re-record of every single song and remixes and stuff like that.
Hmm. Okay. Well, it's a great record. I mean, I don't know if you need to go redo it, um, but I guess if they're gonna do like new arrangements or do like I don't know, whatever.
Tribulation drops gloomy new song Leviathans. That,
Well, they look scary.
that one on Patreon. Let's see. Chelsea Grin stays shreddy with new song Blind Kings. The ex Dillinger Escape Plan guitarist Ben Weinman streams trippy new song Fracas. Local boy for us.
Yeah,
From
that Ben is
Morris
sick
Plains.
player, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely sick player.
Catatonia drops Lacquer from Dead Air live album. So Catatonia is one of these bands that like all the true metal guys over here absolutely love. And it's one of these bands that, they're all right. I don't see that they're nothing to write home about for me, but...
So from the European standpoint, everybody goes nuts for these guys?
Yeah, them, Dark Tranquility, bands like that.
Okay.
Windhand streams Grey Garden. Black Veil Brides return with Scarlet Cross music video.
Never a big fan of these guys.
Yeah, I mean, some of their riffs sound like early Motley Crue-ish, but once like he starts singing, it kind of throws me.
Yeah, I never really got too into them. I gave them a try, a few times. It just never really hit me.
Yeah. Gone is Gone, we mentioned. Stray from the Path, surprise release. Internal Atomics live in London for charity. Machine Head released new song, My Hands Are Empty. The biggest thing for me to come out of that is to see Chris Contos and Logan Mater in the video. So I guess they're now back in the band, which is kind of puzzling as well because they were doing the tour where it was them doing the first album entirely, but they had two other guys doing all the newer songs. So kind of weird. I mean, does that mean that now Logan and Chris are going to be playing the newer stuff, or I don't know. We'll see where that goes.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be interested to see when they get back to playing live shows again.
Let's see. Metallica, Lars Ulrich recounts James Hetfield return to rehab. Tracks of the week on Gimme Metal. And let's see. Let's switch on over to Metal Sucks. A lot of these things are going to overlap. We said the Stephen Carpenter, the Marilyn Manson response to ex-girlfriend's allegations, basically saying that for the entire week he was saying that everything that had been said were just rumors, and now he's come out and said that everything is false, that he's never done anything. But hey, Johnny Depp said the same thing, and he's out of Fantastic Beasts now because he lost that trial. Doja Cat plagiarizes Pliny, which has been another big story on these.
You know what? That's been a huge story, but I gotta tell you, man, I like regardless. I watched that video and it was fun. It was good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I mean, it was entertaining. It's a great. I liked it.
He's said the same thing, and for a lot of people, I think you got to realize that that's going to open doors for him and for
absolutely.
Other bands. I know that people bitch about like baby metal and poppy and stuff like that, but if that gets kids turned on to other forms of metal or to pick up a guitar or an instrument, I mean, it does nothing but benefit the genre, I think.
I mean, I'm just going to use a quick example list, and I know it's many years removed, right? But honestly, like I'll tell you, my first gateway band into like actual like heavier music, was on Kiss, right? And Kiss, but like when we were like kids, and Kiss was like big, like everybody laughed at them, like very much, like they were very like not accepted by like serious musicians or like the rock community. They like, and I know it's the gimmick and all that, but you know what? I mean, it's the same thing. I kind of just relate it to that, like, oh, it's the gimmick, like whatever. But like, it was a good gateway because if I didn't get into Kiss, I wouldn't have gotten into Van Halen, and then everything else that like I wound up like falling in love with. And Kiss was really my thing. So if it turns out to be like baby metal is that gateway for like young people to really start embracing like rock music and heavy music, and if something like Doja Cat, like I think that's great, man. It's just music. Like people get so upset about this stuff, and it's like it's music. It should be like you can be a fan and not a fan, and that's okay because everybody's entitled to like what they like and don't like. It's subjective, it's art. But like to get this fired up about that kind of stuff is just, once again, life's too short. Kids better getting upset over like this kind of stuff. Like I try to find the fun in it, man. It's music, it's rock and roll. That's what it's supposed to be about at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's similar to what we talked about the Phil Campbell album before. And I
remember, like, have fun.
Yeah, I remember years ago I had to review a Rob Zombie album, and at the end of it I was like, it's a fun album, it's an entertaining album, and I'm cool with that. I'm fine with it entertaining me. It doesn't have to be 50 million notes all the time. Sure, you can play double bass and you can play, millions of notes, but if the song isn't memorable at the end, who cares,
Yeah, who cares? Yeah, so, that's my thought.
Let's see if the PRP has anything different. PRP has, let's see, Aaron Lewis announces live streamed shows with Staind and solo album themed sets. Well, what else is he going to be playing? Is he going to be playing a night of Kenny Rogers?
I don't know. I'm actually doing that Foo Fighters stream tomorrow. I'm gonna do that. It's $15. It's being nice. It's like live from the Roxy. So I'm in. The more bands I see, like, and I was like, because it's a talk, because August Burns Red's doing one tomorrow too. They're doing an anniversary show, live stream as well.
Did you like the new track that Foo Fighters released?
It's not my favorite. It's not hitting me yet. It's not grabbing me. Like, it doesn't have the teeth I was hoping it would be. It's a little more mellower than I thought it might be, but I don't hate it, but it's not like, I'm not like, oh, that was awesome. It's like, okay. And the video was like not great.
Yeah. For me, I mean, Color and the Shape, the first album, Color and the Shape, are two of the best albums to be released in the 90s, in my opinion.
Color and the Shape is strong. It's a strong record. I really like it.
Yeah.
The record I go back to a lot in their catalog right now is Sonic Highways, man. I mean, I love Sonic Highways.
For me, it's Wasting Light. Wasting Light and Color and the Shape are the two go-tos. And
Wasting Light's great.
For a long time, I was really annoyed with them because they'd release one big single. I'd love the single. I'd pick up the album, and it's like, I could have just bought the single.
Yeah, it didn't. Some of their stuff is like that. They have some filler songs they do as far as full records go, but and that's how I feel about In Your Honor. Like, In Your Honor is like a great, like, the first half of the record's good, and the second half kind of starts to wane, and then the bonus CD is like whatever.
In Your
but I do like but I like Wasting Light. That's a good one, man.
Yeah, In Your Honor is the one that really pissed me off, and that's where I swore that I'd never buy another album by them. And then I saw the Back and Forth documentary, and I was like, great. I got to pick up Wasting Light.
Yeah, great documentary.
So, got that on vinyl last year for Christmas, if I'm not mistaken.
Nice.
Let's see. Terror announce Keepers of Faith 10th anniversary live stream show with Dare. A Virtue.
Is that a band Dare, or is that like Dare to keep like the Dare program, like the drugs against or whatever?
Good question. I'm not sure if they're a straight edge band or not. Let's see.
I think Terror is. But I mean, it's probably a band. I mean, it's probably another band. Like, because I think Dare, like, the program was D period A period R. I don't think it's like Dare. That I don't even know if that's still a thing. The Dare to keep kids off drugs thing.
I don't know. Terror and Dare will be playing. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, it's a band.
Let's see. A Virtue Ready Deluxe Edition of What Defines You. Release acoustic performance album. Agony's Vicky, don't know how to pronounce her last name, releases her cover of System of a Down's Protect the Land. She, before she got into the Agonist, that's all she did was covers of bands. So,
right.
I mean, Mama's got to keep making money, so nothing, no shame in that.
Nope.
I don't know how to pronounce the lead singer of Curveller Tack, the former lead singer, his last name either. So
I don't know that.
debuts uncensored Glory of Hell music video. Fuming Mouth signs with Nuclear Blast, debuts Master of Extremity. Love the music, but once the vocals kick in, I'm just not a huge fan of, big death metal vocals. There's certain bands that I like, but just once the vocals kick in on that, just
Are you a fan
loses
of
me.
Dying Fetus?
Not off the top of my head.
Yeah, Josh Parr is a huge Dying Fetus fan.
Is he?
Yeah, we saw them with Hatebreed, and also that's where I saw Code Orange for the first time.
Oh wow. Another band that has continuously done stuff during the pandemic
yes.
to keep stuff going. I mean, there's so many bands that I think have dropped the ball where they could have done so much more, but
Yeah.
it's still, a lot of bands don't realize how important social media is and how they need to maintain their presence there and continuously release content to keep in touch with people.
Clutch was doing really awesome at the start of the pandemic too, man. I mean, they really embraced the live stream on YouTube and doing like a lot of the free stuff, and then finally they did the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember we got tickets for that. Josh, we got tickets. We watched it here, and it was awesome. They were great. But yeah, I mean, I'm surprised how many bands have been so late to adopt. And I know it does cost money to do if you want to do it right. I mean, you have to. You don't want to go on there and sound like garbage at all or anything. So you want it to sound okay, and it does. It takes time. It takes money to do. It takes talent of people there. So, it's not, and that's why I don't mind paying $15 for that though, or even $20. Like I get it. Believe me, the bands are not really making money off that.
Right.
They really are not. It's like a break even scenario. So if you hear of your favorite band or whatever, and they're doing this, just do it. It really helps. It helps the people who are working. It helps the people in the bands and all that. And nobody's making nobody's getting rich off of this. It's like people got to put food on the table.
Absolutely. Real quickly, over in the UK, Kerrang.
Yeah.
Features: is it hardcore? Is it metal? This is the new wave of violence. There's a new band of heaviness happening in the United States, taking elements of hardcore, metal, thrash, grind, and more to the extreme. But what is it about? Interesting.
So wait, what band are they talking about?
Yeah, that's...
Are they talking about like Knocked Loose? Because Knocked Loose is like, we go nuts over Knocked Loose, man. That's been one of the bands that we found over the last couple of years that we go berserk about. And I've seen them live. We went to go see them live. They put on, and they definitely cross over hardcore breakdowns big time with like big like death metal stuff and metal, and they're awesome. I mean, you could put Unearth in that category too, but Knocked Loose is even more like that scene, like heavier hardcore like scene sound.
Yeah, so they're mentioning Gulch, Year of the Knife, Drain.
Oh, Year of the Knife is awesome.
Wrist Meat Razor, Candy, Jesus Peace, Inclination, Left Behind, See You Space Cowboy, Mind Force.
Oh, See You Space Cowboy is ridiculous. We saw them live too. They played with Knocked Loose. They were insane.
So there you go. Let's see what else the Brits have to say. 13 of the best songs about bad luck, of course, for Friday the 13th. Real quickly, let's see what...
You'd have to go with Social Distortion, right?
Well, we'll see. Danzig 13, okay.
All right, whatever.
The Damned, Billy Bad Breaks.
Good song.
Peter and the Test Tube Babies, The Jinx.
Oh, that's a great one. Nice. That's a nice track. That's a deep cut.
Jimi Hendrix, Mr. Bad Luck.
And this is a good list.
Devil Driver, Unlucky 13.
Okay.
Johnny Thunders and the Heartbreaks, Born to Lose.
Okay.
Venom 13.
All right.
Cream, Born Under a Bad Sign.
Yeah, Johnny Thunders, man. That's a freaking great record.
Social Distortion, Bad Luck.
Yep, there it is.
Fozzy, Friday the 13th.
La Champion.
Yeah. Leonard Skinner, Good Luck, Bad Luck. Glass Eater, 7 Years, Bad Luck. Anvil, This Is 13. Well, there's some good stuff in there.
What about Alice Cooper, The Man Behind the Mask? Because that's from Friday the 13th.
They missed out on that.
Yeah, they blew an opportunity there. I think they were trying to keep it to like songs about luck and 13, but I mean that to me would be like, I mean, it doesn't have 13 in a title, but it's, he did it for Friday the 13th.
Right.
I'm just saying, the list is a little flawed.
They probably looked at I Got a Line on You off of Iron Eagle 2 instead.
Yeah, exactly.
News. The Darkness teams up with Signature Brew for new Bells and Seasonal Bitter. Run the Jewels drop new song No Save Point from Cyberpunk 2077. Lars Ulrich, Metallica are in a very healthy place following James Hetfield's 2019 return to rehab. Review for the Philip Campbell and Bastard Sons album. And
I really have to check that out this weekend. I really want to hear that.
a lot of this stuff is overlapping, and let's see real quickly here. Ghost Cult from a friend of the show, Keefe, who has been running this site for quite a few years. Let's see, they're sharing the Gone Is Gone video. Album review for Blackstone Cherry, The Human Condition, which I posted new releases last week. Dumb and Dumbest episode 524, When You Scam Yourself. Ghost Cult presents Mini Metal Mixtape Series 6. Alice Cooper shares new single and video Rock and Roll featuring Steve Hunter, Johnny B, Paul Randolph, and Joe Bonamassa. Exclusive premiere. JL. I guess that's how you pronounce it. My Father's Daughter EP out now. Podcast episode 131, Doro Pesh on Magic Diamonds, drive-in shows and new music. Machine Head shares new single and video, My Hands Are Empty.
Right.
Exclusive video premiere, Albert Frost, I'm Still Here. Clutch shares new single, Passive Restraints, featuring Randy Blythe from Lamb of God. You mentioned Clutch before. And that's
Did you like the new Lamb of God, by the way? Did you like the latest Lamb of God record? Or do you not really listen to that?
Yeah, I listened to it. I thought it had some good stuff on it. I mean, Lamb of God is a band that I enjoy. Especially the musicianship. My favorite album by them is probably Wrath, just because of just the composition of a lot of the songs. But I always tend to find, 5 or 6 songs off of each album that I like. It's one of those things where, I know a lot of people bitch about, it's not Burning the Priest, or it's not all their like bigger stuff from the beginning. After Sacrament came out, people started bitching about stuff once they started getting remotely popular. But I dig them.
Cool. Another thing I wanted to tell you, and I don't know if you knew this or not. I mean, you're so up on stuff, so I imagine you're gonna know this. But so Mina Caputo put out a record this week. She dropped the record. She announced it on Twitter, and I went over to Bandcamp where you could listen to it, because you can order it and buy it too as a physical copy. But she also released it on Bandcamp too, and it's not Life of Agony at all in any way, shape, or the form.
None of the solo material is.
No, it's definitely much more, I guess, more rock, and even some tinges of folk, a little bit, not like John Denver or anything like that, but like, some more acoustic more stripped down, I would say. And it's pretty good. She's got different guests on it, different musicians from the scene and everything. And, I got to listen to it all the way through. But for anybody out there that is a Life of Agony fan, Mina Caputo, check that out. It is out, so you can. I saw it on Twitter. I think she tweeted it out like Wednesday or something.
Has she come to grips that COVID isn't a conspiracy yet?
I don't know. She was wearing a mask it's on the cover of the
Oh wow!
record. So
because initially she was, when all this started happening,
I know,
she was
I know.
spouting again, similar to Stephen
Right.
Carpenter of
Well,
Deftones, flat earther, anti-vaxxer, and
yeah. Well, she seems to have, I mean, at least for the picture, she had a mask on. So
okay.
it is what it is.
Every Friday I ask the folks on Patreon what they're listening to. What are you listening to?
I'm listening to the Antler Wound Holiday 7-inch. That's a thing, and it's got three punk rock Christmas songs on it, plus an original. I'm sorry, I'm gonna take that back. It's got one cover song and 3 originals.
Wait a second.
Last Christmas.
You don't even know what's on your own fucking vinyl?
Well, I recorded about a year ago, so. But look at this peppermint vinyl, peppermint swirl vinyl, and it comes with a digital download as well, so you can have the tracks to throw on your whatever device, plus some lyric sheet. Look at that awesome photo in there. Look at that.
Second
right?
from the left, voted the most handsome. I'm gonna fuck up my own joke. The best looking guy in his own house.
That's right. By unanimous vote, we didn't even need a recount.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Last Christmas, which you can see the music video on YouTube, just search Antler Wound Last Christmas. It'll come right up. There's like 1 billion views on it. It's like huge. And then Santa Claus Home Invader, The Elf on the Shelf is Watching You, in Rudolph's Revenge. So if you're into punk hardcore and you love the holidays, this is exactly for you. So if you want one of these bad boys, you can order one. I'll send it to you.
I think I actually have one waiting in Dover, but thanks to COVID, I haven't received it yet.
Yeah.
My parents were supposed to bring it over.
Yeah, if I go to ship this overseas, you probably won't get it till like the end of next year. But
right, and it'll probably cost $97 to ship. So
right. Well, it is on Bandcamp though, I believe. So you can listen to it on Bandcamp. If you type in Antler Wound, it will come up.
Uh-huh.
And the music video is on YouTube. So
there you go.
You're welcome. This is my gift
to the world
for the holidays.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm listening to these days.
What shows?
But seriously, the fake names, man. I've been ripping that up. That's been one that I've been listening to a lot. The Fake Names record, and I can't stress it enough. Hum Inlet. Oh my God, so good. I'm waiting for my vinyl copy to show up. I pre-ordered it back in August. It still hasn't shown up yet. It's out for delivery, but that record, if you want, spacey, heavy music, if you know Hum, they're so much better than just Stars. I know that's a song everybody knows. So much more stuff. Downward as Heavenward was the record after that. Blew me away. 22 years later, they drop a masterpiece. So Hum Inlet. I can't stop listening. I just can't.
So my question is usually, what are you listening to and what are you watching? So any shows or any movies that you recommend?
So watching Mandalorian season 2, of course, and actually we just started watching The Queen's Gambit, and 3 episodes in, phenomenal. It's really cool. Very, very cool. It's on Netflix. And movie, we just watched The Perfection the other night, which was like really weird and bizarre and had a ton of twists in it. It was okay. We watched Holiday last night, which was actually very funny. It's like take the Hallmark movie formula and then put like a lot of like raunchiness in it. It was pretty funny. We're laughing. So it's a funny date movie. Not with the kids. No kids at all should be. Anybody under like 16 or whatever shouldn't watch it. But it is actually pretty funny.
Josh Parr saying Devs was a sick show.
Oh yeah, he was all about Devs. I didn't get a chance to watch that.
Yeah. Josh, you know, I my wife knows this, but I couldn't wait for that series to finish. The end of it was, I don't know, just killed me. And like halfway through, I figured out what was going on. But anyway,
Milo's coming up to say hi.
hello, sir.
Mr. Milo. Oh, and he's gone.
Um, real quickly, since I have you on,
Yes.
thoughts on today's Mandalorian episode?
Thoughts on today's Mandalorian episode. So I know this is, we got to wrap this up. So
Yeah.
this is the kind of stuff, though, when we're going to get back to doing Galaxy Geeks and ripping this kind of talk. But I thought it was great. I thought it was a great episode. It was just advancing the story along. Found out who the Sasha Banks character was, which was cool. And some other great surprises. I don't want to spoil things at all. I mean, I can say the Sasha Banks thing because that's been being teased out like everywhere and all that. It's nothing that you hadn't seen teased out already. It was cool. It was a very cool episode. I liked it. Great action sequence in there, which I think the show this season so far, the production value is way up.
Yeah.
And actually, it was a Dallas Bryce Howard directed episode,
Wow.
which that's the episode you and I from last season were kind of like, this is like one of the Ewok movie like level of things. And then
A-Team episode.
right. But and on second, third, fourth viewings of that episode, it's grown on me. But I got to tell you, man, she did a great job on this episode because when I saw her name come up as director at the end, I was like, wow. So she really she did a great job on this one. So yeah, if you're not watching Mandalorian season 2, man, you're missing out. Like you're just not a Star Wars fan. That's
They're they seem to be huge fans of Deadwood because the third Deadwood actor appeared today.
Yes, I know.
Who
was also in Lost too, right?
Lost. He was the Smoke Man, and
yes.
And he's also Henry Bosch on the series Bosch. Was the only reason I took a chance on that, and and absolutely love him in that as well. So.
Yep. I never watched that show, but I think my brother and my mother watched it.
Yeah, if you're looking, I mean, I've always felt that Bosch is what True Detective season 2 should have been, because it's really it's a series that always leaves you wanting more. So you'll see, I think it's 8 to 10 episodes. I forget the exact number, but this season goes by so fast. You're done. It's like, fuck, I want to see the next season already.
Right.
It's one of those things where it just enthralls you. So.
Yeah. Oh, another one really too before we wrap up is I do want to recommend, if you didn't watch it, go watch Lovecraft Country. Okay. Awesome. Phenomenal. If Lovecraft Country doesn't wind up winning a bunch of stuff, I'm just going to... It was great. Great writing, great acting. Really, really well done. I really can't say enough great things about that show. We really enjoyed it. A couple, little things here and there. Nothing's perfect, but very strong. Loved it. So check out Lovecraft Country. I can't really say too much without giving a lot away. I don't really know how to describe it. Maybe if you watch some of the trailers and things, but I would just dive in. The first episode plays out like an entire feature film, even though it's not feature film length, and you're like, where are they gonna go after this? And and boy, do they go places. So
cool. I haven't checked that out yet. I definitely want to.
I think you'll like it. I think you'll really enjoy it.
Cool. So we're going to wrap things up here, folks. I appreciate having my guest, Chris Vaglio, on.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. This was a lot of fun. Thank you for everybody who participated tonight, chatted, and hung out with us. This was great. So thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. So anyone that's checking this out for the first time, every Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. in the UK, and midnight for us in continental Europe. And that is basically it. This is Signals from Mars for November 14th. Thanks, everyone, once again. Thanks to patrons as well for joining us. And we'll see you next time right here, next Friday. We'll see who we can coerce into joining us. So There you go. Thanks, guys. See ya.